Izan Velasco says, "Hi, Abe. My name is Izan Velasco. I am 19. Oh, you're very young. From Barcelona. I'm a 3D artist specialized in characters, currently studying my third and final year at school. I'm trying to find work in this field and also looking for internships. People tell me I have a pretty good level overall, but I struggle when it comes to presenting my work, and I would appreciate it if you could put strong emphasis on how I can improve or get more impact out of my thumbnails." Especially going to my best work so far. Let's take a look. Cool. Okay, yeah, so nice. Yeah, this is actually not bad, man. San Velasco. Let's take a look. Okay. Wyvern. This is not the pose you would do a wyvern at. I'm not sure if you sculpted it at this pose. Normally you would do it completely straight, but I like the fact that you went for the whole thing. Even with topology, it's good. It's a good piece. It definitely feels or looks like a student level piece. Like there's things in terms of texturing and sculpting that can be improved later on, but it's a good piece. It's not a bad one. This one though looks really nice. I think you did a great job with this Diablo, man. Good anatomy, good textures, good form, but as you mentioned, it's the presentation that's lacking right here. So the reason why this presentation feels a little bit too simple, it's because there is a very sort of like global light going on right here with the character. So again, if we just desaturate this thing, you're gonna see that value-wise, the value is exactly the same pretty much all the way across. Tom, what's up, my friend? Welcome, welcome. So I'm just gonna do a very like stupid thing right here. Let's see if it works. So for instance, I'm gonna try to select the character. Let's see if we can select it. There we go. So I'm gonna go into a new layer, and what I'm gonna do, like normally I would do this, of course, inside of what's the word? Inside of Marmoset. But push your rim light a little bit more. I'm gonna set this to like linear dodge. Right. So if we push the rim light a little bit more, ideally, of course, we will have a like a sharp rim light. Something like that, where we can really see like the profile of the character. Like that could be a good way to make him pop a little bit more. And I would definitely grab like this warm light here on the element. Let's go and have a more directional light coming from the top like this. You know what I mean? Like we want to have, again, I know this is like a horrible example. It looks horrible. Here's what we can do. And I've done this before, but if you want to send me the files, I can do like a small short or like a small video on how I would like light this character just to make him pop a little bit more. Because right now, as you can see, without this guys right here, he just blends with the background too much. That's another thing you could do. You could use a lighter background. So that's probably the easiest fix, to be honest. So if we just like grab the character here real quick. Let's try this. Control Shift I. Layer. Oh my god. Right, so if you go for a lighter background like that, I know this looks again horrible, but hopefully you get the idea. Because the character is very dark in terms of like the skin color, the lighter background is gonna make him pop a little bit more, and that can help you on the thumbnail side of things, because he definitely gets lost a little bit. So I will probably play a little bit with the cinematic, and in this case in particular, I will do probably the opposite thing. Like I will probably try to change it. I'm gonna be honest, and this can be a little bit difficult sometimes to figure out, but I know you mentioned that you feel like this is your strongest piece. I actually feel that this is your strongest piece, the Diablo one. This is the latest works I've done. Yeah, I think you did best or better on this one right here. This one right here feels a little bit too flat in the texturing side of things. And a little bit low poly. Like the gold right there, I don't like how that gold looks. And I know gold can be a little bit tricky to work. I'm gonna show you here a construction that I did for a metal. And we can use this metal for gold. So what you guys need to understand about metals is that you don't want metals to be There you go. So when you're building a metal, you don't want the metal to be like just the layer that's it here. So this is my base color for the metal. I'm gonna make it a little bit less rough. As you can see, that's metallic. I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. Actually, let's make it gold. So if I was making gold, I would go for something like this. I personally like when gold's a little bit more orangey. That's a personal decision. Let's turn off the post effects. There you go. So that's my base layer, right, for the gold. Like that's gonna be my base layer. It's just a very basic fill layer, the color, the roughness, and the metallic. Then you do need to incorporate a little bit of color variation. That's important, because otherwise what's gonna happen is what we have right here, where the gold is looking way too similar and way too noisy. You can see it here on the on the leg armor right there. It's just like way too noisy and way too simple. So I like using just basic materials, just with color information. As you can see, this is just color, and just incorporating this with a little bit of overlay to variate the color. If we go to letter C and we go to the color information, you're gonna see it, right? So this is without any variation, and this is me just incorporating a little bit of like imperfections or impurities on the gold to make it look a little bit more interesting. Then, of course, you can add the rust. In the case of gold, of course, and this is another very common thing, gold doesn't rust. That's why gold is so valuable. But gold does generate something known as a patina. So if you look for gold patina, you're going to see that what tends to happen with gold is it gets like this sort of like darkened effect on some of the elements. So in this particular case, I'm probably going to go with like a darker brownish color and probably play a little bit with the intensity, so that yes, we incorporate that gold like patina on this element, on this like a gold frog, right, without really like destroying the whole thing. Then I have this like metal edgeware. Again, on this case, I'm going to change the color to like a yellowish color. Not super saturated. Again, like I feel like people tend to make gold like way too bright, and it can happen. Like there are some golds that are a little bit too saturated. But in this case, I'm gonna try to keep it more like this. That's it. So this will be like a damaged gold for a character. Right now I have a lot of like sculpt layers that I use to create like a little bit more like imperfections and damage stuff to the whole thing. But hopefully you can see how this construction of gold, it's a little bit more effective than what we have right here with yours that just looks noisy. It just looks like very intense effect. So be careful with that. So yeah, I think it's presentation, man. I think it's someone else is mentioning here on the chat. You do need to learn a little bit more about like artistic presentation to make sure that things pop a little bit more. Check the course that I mentioned, the portfolio presentation workshop. We talk a lot about that right there. This is not a bad character, but I do think that the Diablo one is definitely a lot stronger. And the thing that you need to do more, man, it's more characters. And if you can get them to the level of the Diablo one, go for it, man, because that one looks, again, really nice.